IT department. Yeah. Very good. Okay.
Okay. Yes. So, Prof. Dr. Sangli is he's our dean of
Oh,
BBS department, Brac Business School, and
right.
also he is professor of finance department. So,
Oh,
Prof. Sangli is very friendly. I have, like since I have joined, and like he has been very cordial and very friendly. So,
oh,
uh, he is going to give the like opening speech for us.
yeah.
So maybe Prof, if we can wait for some time, because the students are just like just 12:30 and they're coming, so
Sure.
it's okay with you.
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
Dr. Tanima,
Yes,
about the lecture in the university, means that currently still online or offline?
right now it's online. Actually, right now it's online, but let's see, it depends on the government's like regulations. So if the government asks us to like start on
Okay.
campus, then it's going to be.
Or means that every lecture is conducted through the online, like
Yeah,
Google
there
Meet.
is a box platform in Brac
Okay.
University, so yeah, that's actually we're using.
Then how was the exam? Exam also in online, lor?
Exam also online.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we have another student on board, Kwe.
Yeah. Koi, Miss Koi,
Oh, hello, good afternoon,
Afternoon.
everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm
Afternoon.
still in the
Good
company for
afternoon.
some my job.
Yes,
Very
Kwe's
hardworking.
Oh, hardworking. Sunday also working.
No lah, because factories shut down for power connections ma.
actually Prof.
Oh, okay.
Sangli in Malaysia. Today is a holiday.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
So
Sunday.
Sunday is
yeah,
Yes,
actually
Sunday
not
today.
working
but
day.
in Bangladesh it's a working day today.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
So a bit different from us.
Here weekend is Friday and Saturday, and the Sunday is the
oh,
first day of the week.
oh, I see. Okay,
This
okay.
is similar with some of our states.
Yeah.
Oh
Right.
yes, I think Kelantan state, right?
Yes.
Kelantan
Yeah,
and
and
Telangana.
including
Kelantan and
Johor.
Terengganu is Sunday is the first day of the week.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
true.
I think that is
Same,
most
yeah, same
Muslim
with our
country.
neighbor country also lah. Brunei also the same.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
okay, that's great. Let me just remind everyone. Okay, maybe two more minutes. Let After that, maybe we can start.
Yeah.
Okay, Prof. I'm not disturbing you, right?
That's
Uh,
fine. I just finished one meeting, and
okay.
so after make the speech, maybe I can leave because I have
Okay.
another meeting.
Okay, Prof.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so Prof, maybe we can start. Already someone has joined, and we are also waiting for. Okay, so let's start.
Good, good. Let's wait a
Hi,
little
nice to
more.
meet you. Hi.
Okay. So, dear respected faculty and my beloved students, Assalamu alaikum and good day. Today we have come to this online semi-formal like platform together, not just to share our ideas, experiences of certain topics related to management, but we also have come here to get enriched with knowledge, to learn and respect and facilitate others' perspectives, and also to get an exposure to an intercultural aspect. So today I welcome you all with warm hearts in the semi-formal online session. I welcome my former students from University Malaysia Pahang, who have been my students at various sessions or semesters. And also I welcome my present students from Brac University from summer 2021 semester. So let us open this platform with a short poem or a philosophical notion on cultural stance. Okay, so the poem has been written by Lord Byron. There is a pleasure in the pathless woods. There is rapture on the lonely store. There is a society where no one intrudes. By the deep sea and music it is. Roar. I love not man the less, but nature more. From these, our interviews in which I steal, from all I may be or have been before, to mingle with the universe and feel, when I can never express, yet cannot all conceal. Thank you, everyone. So now our dearest professor, respected dear Prof. Dr. Sang Lee, would give his introductory speech and open this platform. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Dr. Andalib.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for all of you joining this session. I am Sang Lee, Dean of the Brac Business School. Joined the BBS January 2020. So it's been about 20 months so far. But most of the time I'm locked down at home, didn't have much opportunity to explore the country. So that is one missing part during this 20 months stay here. And I'm hoping that soon situation become normal so that I can explore all different countryside, the Cox's Bazar, the famous beach of the Bangladesh, and so on.
Yes.
Well, the Brac University was established about 20 years ago. And during these 20 years, particularly the business school built up its reputation as an excellence in teaching. And now we are looking at the second paradigm, next paradigm, how we can improve this good tradition and legacy as an excellence in teaching. And we want to emphasize a lot of innovative teaching method. And we recruit Dr. Andalib as one of the strategy that she can bring innovative teaching methodologies to spread out to other existing faculty members. You need to implement a lot of hands-on action learning, student involved, student engaged types of experiential learning, student driven types of learning that we want to implement from now on. And I'm hoping that Dr. Andalib can bring this international experience and spread out these good, innovative teaching methodologies among our faculty members. And why it is important. You just think about, I'm not sure whether Malaysia has a cricket sports. Definitely, it is also a popular sports over there. Bangladesh, they are famous of the crickets. And, if you want to teach how to play cricket, how to hit the ball using textbook, it is not effective at all. Some knowledge you can teach, you can write it down, and you can teach through the books. But some other, even much more knowledge, you cannot write it down, and you cannot teach in the conventional way. Student has to go through the experience themselves. They have to feel it, and how to hit the ball in the sweet spot. You cannot teach it. You have to feel it, you have to experience, and you get the knowledge of it. That's why we want to emphasize lots of hands-on experiential types of teaching from now on. And the situation, the environment is changing so much, so fast. So whatever you learn from the textbook, after you graduate, it becomes obsolete, no longer useful. You have to learn it yourself, individually, self-development, And in this situation, having an experience, having building up the capacity by yourself will help you to learn further for whole your life. You know, management and business courses, you cannot write it down in several bullet points and complete and the prescription. There are 95% more knowledge that you have to experience and get the sense of it and apply and build up your own capacity. So that is why we want to emphasize these types of teaching. And I'm hoping Dr. Andalib, and this, the first session today is one of the experience that we are dealing with. And thank you very much for this new experience that you bring this up. So now I am asking my student and my faculty members, just doing experimentation, just hands-on, that is not enough. If we want to excel ourselves to the excellence in teaching, at least we need to do 30% more than what others are doing. And students also, if they consider some margin of error, you need to do at least 30% more or 30% better than other students so that you can claim that I deserve A plus. So we have to excel, both faculty members and students. We have to go one step further toward the excellence. Then we can differentiate ourselves from our competition, not only the local competition, but also international competition, like all those genius students competing from Malaysia. So we can compete, our Bangladeshi student, comfortably compete with them. If everything they do more, okay? And the one thing that I can tell that never lie to you, that is the calendar, that is the time. And everybody will have the same time, same amount of calendar, same amount of time that you have. So that is so fair. And how you can excel, you have to move very fast and diligently and try to learn new things all the time, every time. Develop yourself for your lifetime. That's I want to emphasize in the opening session. Thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you
Adnan.
very
you,
much,
Professor.
Prof.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very
Professor.
much, Prof, for the intensive, learning. And also it's very important point that, if we go the conventional ways, then the change is not going to be happening. So for the change to come, the positive change to come, we have to try some new things all the time. So absolutely. Thank you, Prof, a lot for opening this session. So next, we can go to the presentation session. We can start our session 1, which is presentations, and the session 2 is going to be the discussion session, which is going to be eventually happening after the presentation sessions. Okay. So I cordially invite Khusia Azhar to say something on your presentation topic, whichever you have chosen. So absolutely, I welcome Khusia. You can
Hello.
introduce yourself at first.
All right. Very good afternoon to Mr. Uh, Prof. Sang and Dr. Tarnima and everyone here. So my name is Kusia Azhar. I'm ex-student of Dr. Tarnima before this. And currently I'm working in one of the investment bank in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur. So I'm actually working as a consultant, investment consultant. So I would like to share about development in career, because after I graduate from, this is just like sharing, right? It's okay.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can.
So I just would like to share because after I graduated from UMP, University Malaysia Pahang last time, I was like kind of a little bit like blur. Where should I go for my career and where should I, like don't know where to start. So I got this one opportunity from one of my friends to work in a sales industry. So I come from an industrial management background and during my study in UMP. So it's kind of like not related to what I was studying in the university, but that's the only opportunity that I got at that time. So I just take the opportunity rather than I just don't have anything to do at all. So I just take the opportunity and just try to bring myself into sales industry. So I started with zero because I don't have any job experience before this, and I started to develop my career from there. I was a very shy person, and if you related to sales, you cannot be shy. And I was kind of quiet student too before this. I don't talk much, but that opportunity have changed me, and I slowly bring myself and I start to learn from my colleague and from my leaders and from the I hire people in my company. And after 4 years in the industry, I got another offer from another bank, which is a Kenanga Investment Bank. So after I moved to the other company, I find out that actually my current job right now as investment consultant is actually have related to my study before. In the beginning, it wasn't related, but then after I develop my career and I go a little bit higher position, and I find out that everything that I learned before in my during my study time, I can use it a lot. Like I have classes with Dr. Tarnima before, and I learned a lot about Excel. She taught me a lot. Then it's kind of I kind of use it a lot right now for
Day
to
to
manage,
days. Yeah.
yeah, to manage my clients and to manage my team and the sales and the investment and all. It's very useful. So what I want to share is actually when you started to get into the job, you might find out that the job is not related to what you study, but you don't know the future. So eventually, when you grow higher, when you grow bigger, and you can step a little bit higher, you actually can relate it from what you studied before. So my advice is actually uh, once you graduate, whatever opportunity in front of you, just grab it as long as you think it's good for you. Even like from my experience, I don't have anything with sales. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know anything about investment because I come from industrial management. So I don't know anything about sales, about business, about this kind of thing. But I developed myself. I went to the course a lot of courses I attended before, and Alhamdulillah, now I learn a lot. I think for the past 4 5 years, I have learned a lot. And the second advice I would like to give is
Yes, like you actually could, like merge your industrial management background with the
mm,
business, like business oriented background.
yes,
Actually, Pujar,
yes,
you all know that, like my background is also kind of, like that. I came from computer science background, and then I, like gradually, I have merged this business management side with my career. So let's see, like the cross functional areas,
yeah,
more like you actually merge with the cross functional areas, the more
yeah,
you get enriched, like the more you can actually explore with various things.
yes,
Yeah, that's very,
yes,
very
yes,
interesting.
yes. So actually, that's all what I want to share for my side.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the opening speech.
Welcome.
We are going to be coming back to you again.
Yeah.
Let's then like continue our session with right now Fu Wenkar is going to share his experiences. And Fu Wing, I think you were my student from strategic management class, right? So yeah, so Fu Wenkar, I welcome you cordially to this session to open your
Yes,
opinion.
Doctor. All right. Good afternoon to Prof. Dr. Sangli and Dr. Tarnima and my fellow friends. And okay, good afternoon to all students. All right, so I will share my screen. Can you all see the screen?
Yes,
Yes,
I
we
can
can.
see.
Yes, it's
Yes, we
visible.
can.
All right, so first I would like to introduce myself. My name is Fu Engkang, can call me Fu. Currently, I'm an assistant manager production attached to a device engineering, Malaysia Sdn Bhd. All right.
Okay.
So this is basically about my education background. Currently, I'm studying at the MBA, specialized area governance and control at USM, University Malaysia, University Sains Malaysia, and previously under at UMP with Dr. Tarnima under the strategic management. All
Yeah.
right.
Great.
So today I would like to share is about the functions and application of HRM, human resource management. So human resource management is a like we call management function that concern with the hiring, motivating, and maintaining the workforce in an organization. So for this part, normally HR will deal with the related on the employees issue like we call the hiring, the training and development, the compensation, motivation, communication, and administration. So from my experience, actually I got deal with a lot of hiring before. So like we deal with the normally a post in the job street, the fast job in Malaysia, even though in the LinkedIn. So this is the type of the hiring platform that usually we will go through. And then as a HR part, we also deal with the HR on the training and development, especially on the soft skill and technical skill. Because as we know that skill is very important in order for you to require for the job to perform. So currently, I would say in the industry, the skill that needed, like you need to have a SAP, the standard application product, and the ERP, enterprise resource planning, the skill, so that if the students, the candidates can go through this type of a software, they're able to go through it, I believe there will be added value added for them. All right, so in the HR part, also regarding the compensation on the like insurance, early termination, and the most important, I believe, is in the motivation part. So how HR function can motivate the students. So in order to make them become a loyal employee. So this is the major part. Because with a loyal employee, they can retain, I mean, the skill, the knowledge, the experience that they have. So sometimes in the company, like currently my company, they have provided the long service award for the, I mean, employee that working for more than 10 years in the company. So, and next is about the communication. Basically, HR will communicate a lot on the, we say the goal of the company, especially on the vision, mission. Like currently, we deal with HR a lot on the, I would say the SOP, standard operating procedure on how we handle when COVID-19 cases or detect
Yeah.
any positive cases in the company. So currently, I believe this is the most challenging part for the HR in this situation.
Yes.
Yep.
Fu, I just want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember like during our course, we actually used to, work on these IFE metrics or EFE metrics, or, like we have learned about some other competitive advantage, matrices. So in your, the company, do you actually need to use these matrices in any way, in any way? Do or partially, or even in the full form?
Yes, we do use this. I mean the analysis, especially the even the I would say the 7QC tools, the tools that we learn in the class.
Yes.
Yes, they we apply in the especially in manufacturing.
Oh, okay, that's great.
Yeah, because we need to perform a lot of analysis to identify is it the root cause, how we solve the problems.
Yes, that's great. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, please continue. Yeah.
All right. So this is about the communication, and for the administration part, normally we deal with the documented on the personal profile, the KPI, the promotions, the training records. So, but during this pandemic, it's quite hard for the HR to conduct the training because last time they will have a, I would say face to face, but currently they have online. But it's quite hard for them to manage because their time, most of them is a focus on how to prevent and the precaution for the COVID-19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So basically is ensure the satisfaction of employees and to achieve the organization objective.
So also you have to work from home right now, right?
Because I'm dealing with the production, so I need
Oh,
to
so sometimes
yeah,
you have to go and visit the factory. Yes.
yes.
Okay.
And
Okay.
HR also need to at the factory as well.
Okay.
Because
So can you share about that stuff with us? Like, if you have to take any measure on the occupational, like safety and like health standards, like do you have to actually take any sort of measure in that area?
yes, normally we will confirm with HR because HR will deal with the Ministry of Health to make sure that this is the latest the SOP. After we HR confirm, we will deal with HR on how to ensure all the employees follow SOP when they report to work.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
So yeah, for continue, you can continue.
All right.
Sorry
Sure.
for
Sure.
the
If
interruption.
Because in my part as a management level, I also conduct interview towards the candidates. So this is the normally type of interview question that will be asked. So you can see I have a lot like a structured interview, unstructured interview, mixed interview, behavioral, stress interview, one-to-one, and so on. So this is the type of question that normally we will ask to identify is it this is the right candidate for the right job. Because important when we hire someone, we need to ensure that he is fulfilled for the job description and the job specification. Yeah, so normally as my role, I will interview to ensure that these people are fulfilled. And for example, in the structured question, you will proceed like asking about the soft skill and hard skill. And unstructured is something like tell me about yourself, your strength and weakness. Is to identify is it the candidate how they can actually is how they can speak, they can present themselves.
Yeah.
Right. So I would like to share this is because I believe all of your Dr. Tarnima students also will be in future. You also this is a good tips for you all.
Yes.
Yeah. So mixed interview is mixed between the structured interview and also the unstructured interview. And next is the behavioral interview. It's the most question that I will ask. Definitely, I will ask for the behavioral. Like we will provide a problems. How the students think about the problem and how they solve it. Also, for example, they will based on their experience in the previous company, how they solve the problem. Because we want to know there's a lot of solutions, but which one is the best and how the candidate can use the solution to solve the current problems in the company. Yeah, this is the most part we will give a problem to probe. All right, so stress interview, one-to-one is common. Like normally in one-to-one interview is based on the operational level, like when we have a manager direct interview for the operator or the supervisor. So for the panel interview will be conducted if the manageable level, like we hire for the manager, normally we have 2 or 3 panel. Means that from the GM or the CEO will direct interview with a few interviewer. So currently, normally is we using the telephonic interview, just have a phone call. But HR, you use this telephonic interview for screening purposes. They will just have to ask like, what is your expected salary? How you, your interest? So what is your experience? Something like screen. After that, they only will pass to the management for second interview. So currently, a lot of interview we conducted is through the video interview. Like we have a lot of online platform, like I would say using the Skype, team meeting, the Zoom, or like today we are using the Google Meet. So this is common to use. I mean, it's a new norm. We're using the video interview. Nowadays.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
Wenka, what is mean by panel
See,
interview?
right now we are
Sorry?
actually in the platform from 3 different countries, right? We're from Bangladesh, Malaysia, and Singapore. So like
Oh,
this, like
great, great,
so
great.
yeah, that's great.
Welcome.
Wenka, what is
Okay.
mean by panel interview?
Panel interview is a more than 2 person. Means that we have a like CEO
So,
or general manager to interview the candidate that apply for the manager. Means that more than one.
okay.
Yeah.
All right,
So this is
understand.
basically
Thanks.
HR function. They will arrange an interview for the interviewer.
All right, thanks.
That's great.
Yeah,
All right.
understand.
So important I would like to highlight for today is we in the industry, we want the right person for the right job.
Yeah.
Because if you hire the wrong person, then HR will be even not only HR, the operation or other departments also will face some other issue. All right. Because if not the right person, they're unable to perform. Then a lot of job or time will be wasted. So I would say bad hiring decision is costly, the time is will lost productivity, the communication issue, the motivation, employee dissatisfaction, and this all will result in the high turnover for the company. So the true cost of a bad hire, so based on the result, 50% of candidates mispresent themselves in resume, and 30% of candidates tell blatant lies in their resume. Means that they did not tell the truth. That's why HR sometimes is very challenged for HR to identify this candidate. So sometimes they will call for first interview, second interview. They even go for the background checking. They will call the referrer. How this
Yeah.
candidate, how this candidate perform, even in the past. Other company they will call to confirm that how is your performance, why you resign from there. So this all the HR will find out to have a background check to ensure that we hire the right person. Because if hire the wrong person, the wrong candidate, then will contribute a lot of issue for the consequences is very huge.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So this is basically I have also participated in a lot of career fair
Yeah,
to
so I just want to add with you that
yeah.
like in our HRM class, I think Shanun, Saba, like whoever present here, see,
Yeah.
we actually like we're giving some real life examples on the referral. Like why we need referral. Like suppose
Yes, yes.
like when someone is actually getting hired in army, like the most sensitive like places. So obviously, you need to be actually checking the background in a very discreet way, so that like you do not like recruit the wrong person. So it's very important. Yeah, thank you for this, like this is a very interesting and very relevant topic actually. Thank you.
Yeah, doctor. That's why from industry perspective, yes, we want to conduct to hire the right person.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I also participate in a lot of career fairs in Malaysia, and we also got and interview a lot of candidates, even the interns to get the placement. All right, for the engineers. Yeah. So even in the university, this is in UMP, and then on the right side and the left side is at a career fair in KL. It's a big career fair. All right. So this is basically about my sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, Fu. We are going to be coming back to you again with some question answers, some questions from my current students, and also like wherever the topics pop up. Okay, so now let's go to Kwe, Boon Wei Kwe. Like I invite you cordially and present your topic and your presentation. Thank you, Boon.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Tarnima. Sorry, I am actually a bit like busy recently, so I just come up
I
with very
understand.
rough presentations regarding my working experience. So I also graduate from Universiti Malaysia Pahang under ITM bachelor degree. Then my working experience is like from 2016, I working at Vitrox Technology Sdn Bhd at Penang, Malaysia until now. Now I am senior engineer at facility departments. So what is facility? So facility is usually take care those like buildings maintenance and also the equipment maintenance. Before proceed further, let me bring you all to have a plant tour on my company lah. This is a video of my company.
Boon, you can switch on your microphone, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, nice.
Okay, this is my company. Then to construct and maintain this such a big building, right, is actually under our facility department, which is the department I'm currently working as. So actually we are actually like having a different teams under facility departments. We actually divided into building expansions and building maintenance one team. Another team will be like M&E team, and the last team will be on those like safety and security. So I'm in the building team where I'm in charge in the internal building expansion. So today's topic, I will focus on the how I manage the internal building expansions during my job scope. Okay, so this is the normal process of the project management in the real world, right? So at first, I will usually start with the project charter where I'll get requirements from area owners. So what the purpose of the areas, then how many machine bay needed, then assembly workstation needed, then any special requirements that needed, power supply, aircon requirements, including those like humidity and temperature that required, then also the layout design. Then after that, I will form a team based on the requirement from the area owner, right? So I will find the team member that corrects that will be suit my projects, including from the MIS departments, and also M&E and ID will be from facility departments. And then the project information is also from the area owner, when the area need to be ready and what is the risk. Okay, so the risk, one of example of the recent project I handle is Block F, 4th floor manufacturing area. So based on the area owner requirements, I actually ask them whether what's the requirements are. Okay, maybe
You also have to handle with the risk issues, right? Like the risk management part also comes in this sector, right?
Yes, like
Yeah.
for example, the risk that we face is since recently is COVID issue is very serious, right? So it's like we face like suppliers factory shut down, then we have the shortage of materials. So the material will be delivered late. So we need to adjust our timelines to make sure the project will be completed on time.
Yeah.
Sorry, my entire screen. So this is, can you see my screen, right? Then this is one of the apps that I use to do my design layout. So based on infos that I got from the area owner, right? I need to know that how big is the machine size. Then how many machine bay I can fit in for each area. So this is for the I actually divide them into the two part of machine size. So one is slightly smaller one, and another one will be bigger one. So then I will draw a different layout to them. Then this is the final layout that accepted by the area owner. Then how many assembly area they needed of. Then we actually have a lot of communications on what is the requirements. Example, the what's the voltage of the machine needed. So I will prepare the power supply for them, and also CDA, the compressed dry air, and also network. So then I actually come out a lot of versions of the designs. Then after I got finalize the design, right, then I will do the work breakdown structures, where I will break it down into the details, like partition, ceiling, floor, then slowly go up. Then from this WBS, I only can come out the details planning for the for my project timeline. Then before proceed to project timeline, every project have a certain of budgets. So that there are 4 types of budgets. Then for this project, right, I usually will be use the analog estimations, which is based on the previous similar projects. Then I will do the estimations for this project. It will be more faster and easier for me to do it, since like the production is actually running very fast. So I need to make sure it ready on time. So this is one of example of the project timelines I created. One of the reason why we use Google spreadsheets is because like we want to share to our contractor. We actually have some apps that can use it internally, but unfortunately, because the project is we actually need to communicate with external, including the contractor. So it's actually Google spreadsheet is nice for us, so that even the external party also can continue monitor closely on what is our project, what is the project and the status of the project. So then
So what tools do you use, Boon, like in this part, like to design these, like project, and like you are using the spreadsheet?
Yes, I just using Google spreadsheets because
Okay.
it will be shared to the external party and it's free, so everyone can
Yeah,
use it.
true.
Because running our
While
projects,
designing the layout, what kind of tools do you use actually?
I use is drafts. We call it draft site. It is
Okay.
similar to AutoCAD. However, the yearly cost is much more cheaper.
Oh, okay.
It's
Great.
similar. It's like every function is like maybe the icon is different, but you just like if we are very familiar with AutoCAD, then we have
Mhm.
no issue to use draft site.
True.
Uh, so this is what I have done during my workings for like 5 years. So of course after this is the project time I used to keep tracks the project's status. Then once we actually completed, then I will send out like an email closing to everyone's to announce it as as how to say a celebrations to closing this project so on time.
Mhm.
So this is how I usually handles in the project management. I know it's maybe like how to say it may be not very professional compared to others, but my company is actually hopes that the projects can be running on completed on time with the lower cost. So then also and the communication must be fast enough. That's why we use the apps with the lowest cost and also it can be shareable to the external party.
Mhm. That's great.
Okay, so beside sharing regarding some like uh, info regarding the project management, right? I will also share some of the trainings and developments in in my career This is our human life cycle loss. Once we graduate, right, we start to working. However, this is the minimum salary. This is the starting pay we got. Then maybe to everyone it will be a bit lesser compared to like those like workings a few years one. So that once we got the 30, our working experience it increase. Then of course our money also our salary also increase. Then getting to the year of 40 and 50, then our salary is increasing also. But in order to make sure, how to say, in order, how we going to justify the increments to our management to say that, yes, I'm qualified for the salary increments. So this is what we must do. We must always develop ourselves, our skills. So this is the uh, trainings I always I have attended, and I will make sure every year I will do at least some improvement in myself,
Hmm.
especially in the skills. For the first
That's
2 years,
great.
pardon?
So you have a completed PMP training, Boon.
Yes,
Do you?
I
Yeah,
I
that's great. Mashallah. Yeah, very good. It's on the new syllabus or the old one?
new syllabus. I just completed on recently only.
Okay, okay, that's great.
Uh, so this is one of the like every year I was doing a small improvement on myself. So and this is one of the those like trainings I have done. Then life is learning process. So we must keep learning in order to make ourselves better. So like anyone want to ask any question?
Yes. Joya, Afif, Wajid, do you have any question to Kwe? It's really a great, yeah,
It was very elaborative.
yeah, very nice. So, you see that Kwe has already done a lot of, training herself, training sessions also. So we have been talking about, like various sorts of trainings in the class, professional trainings. So you can from now on, because you are in the fourth year, Afif, Sadiq, and Joya, like Wajid, you all are in the fourth year, so you can plan of these things, like you can plan for some trainings that you should be adding in your resume. So yeah, that's it. Okay, nice. Thank you, Kwe. And
Okay.
we are going to be coming back to you again
Okay.
after the session ends. Okay. So now I request. Okay. Now I request Tian Chang to present your slides, or
Yeah.
in what way? Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Hi. Sorry, I did not prepare a slide.
No problem. No problem.
I
You
don't know
can
they
just
prepared the slide. Yeah.
you can discuss. Tian is right now in Singapore, so
Yeah.
everyone away from home. Tian.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Away from home like 2 years. Close to 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's during this COVID time.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this will improve soon, and you can visit. Yeah. Okay. Please start.
Okay. After I graduate, I start my first job in my hometown, which is Miri Sarawak, and then my position is production executive lah. So I working there like close to 2 years. Then I move forward to here in Singapore, and then continue my journey as a assistant engineer lah. So I working in a semiconductor fab. For
Mm-hmm.
those of you who know, semicon fab is a clean room fab. So that means you need to wear jumpsuit before you enter the clean room. So until now, I have been working for 3 years here. So so my company is Edwards. Edwards is a UK-based company. They are the original equipment maker for abutment system and pumps. So what I'm doing is I do preventive maintenance, troubleshooting, and commissioning of the abutment system and pumps. Yeah, that's basically what I do lah. So just now I saw Wenka share about the human resource management lah. One thing that I can share with you all is in my company they have HR have training, but the training HR provided is about the company background, all those things, all about company info. But for specific like specific training is hands-on training. So it's other training by conducted by others, conducted directly by our supervisor lah. So it's more on a hands-on training. So yeah, it's good lah. Wenka have sharing about the human resource management, and then yeah, it's true lah. What they say is true. So yeah, and then another thing is I saw the topic a broad area. One of the fifth point is experience while dealing with corporate companies. Yeah, this one I deal quite a lot with our customer because we are the equipment manufacturer, so we have to distribute our equipment to every site lah, every factory, every site. So my experience while dealing with the corporate companies is customer always right lah. What customer want, you have to provide. You have to give them the what they want lah. That's all. That's all
So,
about.
Tian, do you actually, ever since it's, equipment based, recruitment you actually need to do in your company. So, do you think that, how actually you can measure the, calculate the skill set? Like, how can you actually measure that? How can you evaluate that?
You
The,
mean value ourselves or values others candidate?
the skill set of the employees, do you take any sort of exams, written, or maybe practical exams or
Okay.
anything like that?
Every year, employee have to go back to headquarter to conduct a training test lah. Conduct a
Okay.
training test like technical specification. That one
Mm-hmm.
is for annual, and then another thing is every year we have annual body checkup, including our
Oh,
hearing, our sight, our body, or our
oh,
blood test also have like everything lah. That
oh,
one
that's
is
great.
also
Like it's to
one part
ensure
of
the
ensure our
occupational,
safety lah.
yeah,
Yeah,
health. Okay, that's
yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah. So conduct the test. First thing first, when you join the company will give you some IQ test to ensure that you fit for the job lah. Then
Mm,
after you
psychological
pass
test.
uh the IQ test, the technical test, then another thing is you have to go for the training lah before they can disembark you to the specific site.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the training took about my training quite long. Took about 3 to 4 months before I can start my
Oh,
journey. Yeah. So
okay.
they make sure
Extensive training.
actually this one also customer request lah. Our biggest customer is Micron lah. I think everyone know Micron. Micron is a big semicon fab lah. So as our biggest customer, we have to follow what they say lah, because most of our money earned from Micron. So they what they say is we have to train like at least 3 months before we can
Mm-hmm.
enter their fab to working, to ensure
Oh,
that to ensure that we know the rules and regulation in the semicon fab. They go
yes,
in,
the compliance
they
issues and the
compliance, yeah, the
regulations. Yeah,
safety issue,
that's very important.
everything. And they have a test. They have a test also
Mm-hmm.
before you can enter the fab. And then after you pass the test, they give you entry pass, a pass for you to entry. Yeah, that is all regarding the training Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So, even though like we have some other sessions also, like I just want to ask one question to Fu. Like, when you actually do this recruitment, do you have to take any such test also, like examination, especially the physical examination sort of thing?
Yep. Normally, like what Tian mentioned, you will have just a simple, I mean, IQ and EQ test.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Also, they
okay,
also include the EQ test.
Yeah.
So
okay.
IQ
good.
and EQ.
Yeah. For our side, we don't have a EQ test. We only
EQ
simple
test is
IQ test.
based on EQ test is based on the experiences or the
I would
skill set.
say the answer is no right or wrong. Just how we like
Oh,
provide. Yeah, we provide a question. How they can think critically on how to answer the question.
Maybe
okay.
Yeah.
that one is to put the right person in the right position also
Yes.
because
Oh,
they want to
that's
test
great.
the
Like the critical reasoning
personality.
part. Okay,
Yeah.
that's very interesting.
So
Okay.
we like do an assessment. We assess
Yeah.
them before we take them. We hire them.
Like get to know them before you put them. Yeah.
Yes.
That's great. That's great. So, okay, thank you, Tian. Thank you, Tian.
Yeah.
So we are going to be coming back to you again. So
All
let's
right.
give our other friends some floor.
All
I
right.
think Charlene is not yet, right? Charlene has not come
Yeah,
yet. So
she is not here. I
yeah,
think she is busy with her
yeah.
baby.
She
It will be a
informed
bit
me
late.
that she's going to be coming after some time. After I think.
Yeah.
After an hour or so. Okay, so we can start with Sabah Famida Samiha. She is a Brac University student. She's third year student. So, uh, Zaba, you can start. Don't be, like nervous. We
No, ma'am.
all are here. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm really glad that I'm meeting all of you here. Otherwise, that there won't be any opportunity like this. So yeah, I'll be starting. So hello everyone. My name is Sabah Famida, and I'm doing my bachelor's at Brac Business School. Though I'm studying business but I've worked in development projects, different sectors of marketing and content writing. Well, I'm extremely happy to be here listening. I was listening to all of you, and I learned a lot of things, new things, of course. And I'm grateful to Tarnima ma'am for arranging this interactive session for all of us. Thank you, Miss. I've done MGD 301 with ma'am, which is Human Resource Management. This is the very first course of HRM and is extremely important to understand the basics of it. I believe HRM is such a hyped area of concentration, and it's related with each and every sector of work, whatever we choose to work on. I remember unfolding new informations throughout the course. It's been an experience for all of us to learn about something that's going to be required for us to know once we're done with our undergrads. If I want to talk about our project, which we have worked on, it was based on the relationship management system, and we have emphasized on employee relationship management with the management. While doing so, we have come across factors like employee rights, organizational culture, followed leadership style, knowledge sharing behavior, labor union, employee privacy, grievance handling, workplace environment, and things like motivation. Well, all these factors are extremely important and vary within organizations. My teammates and I have worked on different areas of the project. We did our research using information given by scholars and well-renowned publications. I was personally involved with the interviews of different position holders in the telecommunications industry. Our queries included the leadership style followed in the particular organization, employee satisfaction with the organizational culture, relationship between leaders and their subordinates, and so on. While doing so, I have had one of a kind of an experience. It started from learning about the industry itself, as we have, at least I didn't had any idea about telecommunications industry. So that was the first thing that to learn about the industry, how they operate, their management system, how they have developed their policies and different activities to enrich their skills, especially the skills of their employees. And they try to make sure that every person working on the organization, no matter which position they hold, they don't feel left out, and they don't feel that they're not learning anything. So there have been positive changes in the industry, and we're actually looking forward to more enrichment. So while starting our work life, we can actually carry on with our learning process as well, because the process doesn't have any end. You have to constantly learn and adapt to things. And yeah, and lastly, I would like to raise a point which is about doing research in undergrad levels in our country. If I talk about myself, I take an example in my life. I have always been interested in academic research, as it helps us to learn effectively about things and makes us capable of solving real world problems. Finally, I thank Tarnima Miss for giving us the opportunity to take the first step and experience the pathway of doing research activities. And I'm looking forward to work with you again, ma'am. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Saba. Great presentation. Yes, you have raised some great, critical points actually. So yeah, thanks to that. And yeah, obviously we are going to be, in our discussion session, we will actually, talk about some these factors and compare, the, situation in Malaysia and the situation in Bangladesh. So, we can have an elaborative idea also. Okay, thank you, Saba,
Thank you, Miss.
for the presentation. So now I will like to cordially invite Noshin Anjum Joya. She has been my student in management 423. Yes, from Brac University.
Hello, everyone. I
Hello.
hope you're all doing fine. First of all, I'd like to thank Tarnima Miss for this opportunity, because I didn't expect to be able to speak in such a diverse forum in such a quick time. It's my first experience speaking out with so many people and hearing your unique experiences. And this is has been a great learning experience, not just this seminar but doing courses with Tarnima ma'am. This was my first time I actually went out and took an interview. Usually I leave it to other people, and I'm more into writing the things and doing literature review. So we first tried to work with one of Bangladesh's really known telecommunication company, Grameenphone, and we tried to take Tarnima ma'am's help to get in contact with someone. But this would have been easier. However, the pandemic situation really caused a chaos, in a sense that he was busy. he was busy with his training. It was difficult to communicate with him, and when he did, he couldn't really tell us anything for sure. The communication was, ironically, our topic was on communication between the senior employees and the employees who work under them. So we were having a lot of communication issues as well. It was difficult to get in touch with him, and when we did, by the time we actually got a conclusion that it was not possible, we were near the deadline. So we acted quickly and got in touch with some people from National Bank.
Yes.
Due to so we got in touch with some people from National Bank, and we got their interview. And it was, National Bank is linked very tightly with Bangladesh's history. It's one of the first bank that opened in Bangladesh, that operated since its independence. So getting their interview was a big accomplishment for me. And it was also a nerve-breaking session because I sat with the vice president and I asked him a lot of questions regarding the training modules. Now, our business environment is affected by a lot of factors, a lot of microeconomical and macroeconomical factors. And we've seen that very closely due to the pandemic, how everything was just shut down. And the effect has also been seen in the human resource department, because when I went there to take the interview, he was very stressed, and he was talking about how he has to make sure that everyone gets what they deserve and the due diligence regarding everything. And he was actually working on that when we went to take his interview. So it was I was really grateful that he gave us his time. So he emphasized how important it was that employees are trained, and so that they can work perfectly and they can adapt themselves to the change. And when we asked him quite a lot of questions, and how much they emphasize training, and according to them, they really do. They had refresher training of the job. They perform induction training, work-related training job, virtual training job. Even though they were going through pandemic, they tried their best to keep the training going on. It wasn't at a pause. That's how much they actually emphasized this. And they also took communication training, which was what we were after. And according to one employee who worked there, he'd like to do it again because according to him, it helps him. With Bangladesh being a country where there is a distinct visible power difference, sometimes people struggle to communicate. The employees struggle to communicate with the upper management, and the upper management struggle to communicate with the employees. So I think it's probably because of the effect of globalization that there has been some significant improvement here, and people are slowly moving out of that shell. Now, Bangladesh being a developing country, the models that we studied about with Miss in classes, not most of them were adopted. They followed I asked him why he didn't. He said that GMT is usually used by large multinational corporations, for example, Grameenphone, which is one of the reasons why we had targeted this company. So it was overall a very amazing experience, and I could see the contrast between the theory and the practical applications of a concept. And I think it was my first interview taking experience, and it was a very eye-opening and learning experience, and I enjoyed doing it. So I hope I can continue learning more.
Yes.
In the future when I get more opportunities like this. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Joya. Just to be, a little bit politically correct, that is we also couldn't get time from Grameenphone due to the compliance issues as well. So yeah, that was because they have a lot of compliance regulations and protocols. So that's also one more thing to be mentioned. Okay, so
it's a very
yeah,
well-known multinational company in Bangladesh, and it's one of the first and the best
actually it's actually the branch company of Telenor Group of Industries, and Kusia, that it's DG is also one of the branch companies of Telenor Group of Industries, right? So DG is also widely used, Joya. Sabah, this DG telecommunication is also widely used in Malaysia, and it is also one of the branch companies of Telenor. But in Malaysia, I think Maxis is more popular, right?
Yeah, Maxis and
Yeah,
Telcom.
yes.
Maxis Hotlink is more popular, but I think Maxis is more related to, you can say, our uh, Robi. It's more related to Robi. Okay, so yeah, okay. So thank you, Joya, for the presentation and sharing your experience throughout the project. So now we can invite Abir Ahmed. He's also one of my students in Management 423. So please, Abir, I would like to give you the floor. Thank you. I think Abir is here.
Assalamualaikum, ma'am.
Yes.
Give me 2 minutes, please.
Okay. So,
Actually, I have just finished an exam, so
okay,
please.
okay. So maybe I can ask Afif. Afif, can you switch? Maybe Afif can present right now.
I'm sure, ma'am, I can do that.
Okay, great. So Abhi, you take some time. You just came out from the exam hall, so just relax for a bit, and now Afif can continue. Yeah, Afif, I welcome you. I
Thank
cordially
you,
invite
ma'am.
you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. First of all, as everyone said before, I'd like to thank you for giving us this opportunity to speak with such experienced people. When they were talking about their experience, and here was I, my only experience is I study in Brac University. So it was quite underwhelming for me. And then again, they are also in the profession department. As I talked before, ma'am, I was also going through my final exams, but I actually pulled off a small little presentation. So can I share it?
Yes, please.
Just give me a second, ma'am.
Yes.
Isn't that my phone? Yeah, unfortunately, I had to share the whole screen. My presentation was not opening.
No problem. No, don't worry. It's yeah. Yes.
Okay, so please, can you confirm me? Is it visible?
Yes, it is
Yeah,
visible.
see the screen.
Okay, so thank you very
Tian,
much.
can you see Tian, Kushia, Boon, Kwe?
Yes, I
Yes,
can
yes,
see.
we can
Yes.
see the screen.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
that's great. Great.
Okay,
Yeah.
so thank you. As I think Saba and Joy actually explained our process to go through the companies. Ironically, my team also chose a telecommunication company, which is Banglalink, the second largest, or so-called the third largest company in Bangladesh. The reason I think everyone trying to choose the telecommunication company is that this industry is growing rapidly. In nearly 20 years, every company has reached overall 30 to 50 million users, so which is a lot considering us Bangladesh a developing country. So I would like to welcome everyone to my findings while I try to evaluate Banglalink's emphasis on training and development, which was a part of our final term paper instructed by Tarnima. So hello everyone, I'm Afif Sadiq and currently I'm studying in Brac University. I'm the final year under Brac and this course was actually MGT 423, Training and Development. So moving on, our topic for this emphasis to understand Banglalink's emphasis on training and development was training and team building and communication in workplace, which is ironically also matches with Choya. The reason we picked this particular topic is to understand what is the actual emphasis of Banglalink, right? How Banglalink, a small company with around 2,300 people operating with the whole client base of 30 million. So that's why when we actually discussed with our interviewee, he suggested that we should work on this topic and so forth. So now let's talk about our findings. The reason communication is important, according to Drucker, is that the most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't saying. So his emphasis on that is like we need to actually connect with others and we need to understand what they're actually saying. Because most of the time, or in a developing country, our work structure is like from top to bottom. The top employees actually gives order and the bottom employees or the line managers actually executes them. But however, as the time is changing and the industry is becoming more dynamic, our emphasis turned into hearing the line manager, the hearing the core of the people who are the human capital. So before that, let's talk about Banglalink. Banglalink started as Sheva Telecom in 1996. In 2004, Orascom Telecom, based on Egypt, actually bought the whole share of Sheba Telecom, which is shifted in 2006. They attained only 3 million subscribers. And with that merely 14 years, Banglalink, within 4 years, Sheba changed their name in 2013 to Banglalink and currently has over subscriber 36.4 million. You can see the change here, right? It just took them 7 years to actually accumulate this many subscribers, and continuously they are growing as much as well. Banglalink is also represented Bangladesh in a global standard. So moving on to our research study, we did a literature review to understand what is the actual process of management and why this industry is being so dynamic. So according to Mona, the management sets sometimes performance standards before assigning employees for training, which the employees are expected to achieve the training program. The reason this literature review connects with Banglalink is that for Banglalink, their core competency, or we can say that their competitive edge, is the human capital. Banglalink is a company that focuses on their employees as the main standard. They try to develop an employee from bottom to the top so that it is much more cost effective. And the employee has a connection to the company, as the employee might believe that this company or he has a stake, or he or she has a stake on this company. So moving on, as Ahsan illustrated in 2013, they also wish to develop employees to be interactive and grow interpersonal skills, which enables an individual to function effectively being the team member. The reason is that they actually focus on team building is that Banglalink only has around direct 2,300 employees, starting from the top level managers to the line managers. Banglalink sets up a different departments, but however, when it comes to projects, they actually come to smaller teams. The smaller teams have to be tens the most ideas and much more effective while executing those particular tasks. That's why Banglalink really emphasizes on building interactive and interpersonal skills. As I believe the team performance determines on each of the employees or each of the participants' interpersonal skills, according to their KSA. The higher the KSA, the higher the performance of the team, and thus the team performs much better than any other teams. That's why Banglalink says that their biggest power is human capital. The reason human capital is so critical for Banglalink is that because Banglalink starts depends on particular teams. Each team consists of many people who have, not many people, around 7 to 10 people, and under them there are particular few departments that work. Here, HR actually does the much better work. Why? Because HR actually figure out the talents who can run those teams. Each and every particular task. For example, if you talk about a campaign in Brac University, if Banglalink wants to conduct that, Banglalink needs to set up a team who can reach out to Brac University students, perhaps the Brac University Club or the Department of Business. And then from there, they need to assign particular people who are going to run those workshops. As we are undergrad, we need much more basic level workshops. So if Banglalink fails to develop those kind of people to conduct those kind of particular workshops, it is not possible for us to understand the advanced level yet. So therefore, Banglalink always empowers their employees to grow and help their employees to develop their interpersonal skills, as they are their human capital. So moving on, while we were using the HR functions explained in the training and development, we have come to know about the theoretical approaches like the Eddy model, the Gann-Briggs model. Those models are quite dynamic, moving on, that they each elaborate the particular functions of HR. However, when we actually conducted this research, our literature review also indicated the use of theoretical approaches. But when you actually reach out to Banglalink, they have those kind of models, but it's kind of deviated from their original form. The reason is that Banglalink considers this model to be a bit rigid. These models are flexible, but they think these are a bit rigid, and the company should be much more flexible to have effective time management issues. For example, if we take the Eddy model, we all know that our first step is to analyze. That's why we conduct training needs analysis, or TNA. But in terms of practical uses, the HR of Banglalink does not conduct that training, does not conduct that analysis. The top management discuss with the bottom management line people that what sort of training can affect their or boost their productivity. Those two management team then relies to the HR as a strategic partner that we need this sort of training. For example, team building and communication in workplace. After the top management of the board have decided that the company needs this sort of training this year, they give that to the HR function. The leading department actually focuses on the practical use. Now, moving on, we already see the analyze stage is also being diverted to the original Eddie model, saying the develop and the design model actually consist other people's than the HR. The HR actually takes particular experts on their particular field. For example, a line manager with a 5-year experience. He might understand the employees much better than the HR can. That's why they involve those kind of people, which we actually said the term the nominal expert group model, where they actually take the expert's opinion and discuss how the training should be designed. Same goes for the implementation model. In the implementation process, Banglalink emphasizes on having the best cost-effective trainers. So they goes to other firms if their own firm has not that particular trainer. Moving on to the evaluation phase, Banglalink actually provides immediate evaluation. Suppose in the implementation phase, they have the role play option, where the employees or the trainees can actually understand the use or the particular issues of team building. Furthermore, the trainer and the HR formalities, they also provides an evaluative or a evaluation stage where they actually helps the employee to go through the whole training process once again. Same goes for the gynatrix beauty. They don't actually follow all the step by step accurately, but they have a much more dynamic approach to that. They tend to deviate according to the basis of the project and according to the basis of the necessity of the training. So moving on, HR as a strategic partner, we have to understand that the HR of Banglalink is quite dynamic. Why? Because their training actually deviates from all our known models. Development is quite much efficient as they are directly connecting through the stakeholders and forecasting the HR demand. Now, if you take an example of training, we can understand that Banglalink actually focuses on a dynamic approach. They actually want their employees to understand rather than only participating. I believe, as Joya said, an employee in National Bank also wants to do those kind of trainings which are much more effective. The reason is that because as Banglalink is a developing country, we need to have a lower employee turnover. And we can attain lower employee turnover by assuring motivation. Motivation is an incentive because we are motivating employees to increase their skills, and skills or KSA can help them to grow much faster. That's why the HR as a strategic partner always focuses on the dynamic and less formal approach than our previous model discussed. The development phase of trainees are quite effective as well. As our training is dynamic, the KSA improve is much faster than much more. The reason the telecommunication companies have such higher development rate is because of their dynamic approach. They tend to deviate from the original model and use the global model as a course. Now, for forecasting, as I said before, Banglalink only has 2,300 direct employees. They also have fewer employees to manage their other stuff, for example, client management services. Banglalink divides their core employees from their other employees as this way to isolate other two, I think, outsource their job task to other companies. That's why they forecast in such a way that they only try to work with those 2,300 employees who were there for the start with Banglalink. As they are training and developing themselves, those range of people, some of them might be the future CEO of Banglalink. Now, thank you everyone. This was my finding regarding all. I know it's been a rigid presentation, but I tried my best. So thank you everyone. Any questions?
It's a great presentation, Afif. Actually, I want to ask you, see, when the managers actually said that they customize the ADDI model or Guinea bricks, like theories, have they shared any sort of documents on those kind of, on those specifications, that what exact path they are actually modifying, or they just,
Ma'am, as I have discussed with you before, I'm already struggling to get a declaration signed, as they tend to think that those are quite like, this is their competitive edge, right? They cannot share all the information with us. So what Banglalink tends to do is gives up some few particular scenarios, what they actually developed. For example, I have said in the design phase, they actually include the line manager people. Why? because the line manager can connect with the executive much more than the HR functionalities. They take the approaches, the specific models, but they deviate from them in a particular sense that which is flexible, much more flexible and much more comprehensive to increase their employees' competency. So that's why it's quite dynamic, although the approach and the core are the same, but the other details are a bit changed.
Yes, it's actually it's understandable because yeah, you're right on that point. On that note, that it's their competitive, age. So obviously they will not feel comfortable to share those specific factors. But yes, Alhamdulillah, at least we get to know that yeah, at least there are some of the companies we who are actually following the models, but in their own way. So see,
Yes.
this in my PhD thesis, I just want to share. While doing the PhD, I actually got to know that there are lots of theories. Those are actually being used in the corporates, but in a very different way. Like in a customized way, or in any sort of like maybe partially, or they are also adding up some other components like that. But actually, they are on that on that phase, like they are actually walking on that pathway. So that's a very interesting findings. Thank you, Afif. So thank you. We are going to be coming back to you again.
Ma'am,
We
I have a
have-
question.
yes, Shanu.
Ma'am,
Yes,
I want to ask a question to Sir Owen Carfo.
yes, full.
Yes, I have a
Yes.
question for you. Yes, you said we have to hire the right person for the company. Otherwise, it will a waste of time, money, and work. This thing
Yes.
also said by founder of the PayPal company, Peter Thiel and Elon Musk. So I am absolutely agree with you. But my question is, how a company find the right person for the right job? How will the company know this candidate is the absolutely perfect for this company? With company's vision and mission, how to identify that candidate? That's the question.
Shannon, you can you switch on your video for a while. Don't worry.
I'm quite nervous, ma'am. That's why I am
It's okay.
not.
You are. It's okay. You can. We are all are having informal kind of session here, so it's okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. So Fu, you got the question right?
Yes. All right,
Yes.
very interesting questions.
Yeah.
So basically, like what you mentioned, how do we get the right people for the right job?
Mhm.
Okay, so that's why previously I also mentioned we need to conduct a lot of, assessment and tests. So first, we will identify through the assessment the IQ test and EQ test. After that, we conduct interview. And then we have a first interview, second interview. And before the interview, HR will play the main role. They will go to check on the background. Is it why you quit from the previous job? What is your experience? Is it you are suitable with the current job offer, that the job description? Is it you fulfill? Can you perform the job? All right, so they will do a background check. And during the interview, we will use a lot of interview questions to identify, is it you are suitable for the job? Like what I mentioned, especially on the behavioral interview. Because in industry, you will face a lot of problems. Because when we hire someone, we are looking someone to solve the problems. How they can solve? Using what kind of tools? All right, based on their experience. Sometimes we need the soft skill, we need the technical skill. Is it the person have this kind of skill? Like Boon also share, she also undergoes a lot of trainings. That's why we will ask, is it you have undergo this kind of training to perform the job? Yep, so we will try to screen as much as possible. Especially on the referral, we can call to the referral, for example, to your lecturer, your previous employer, to identify, is it, how is you are, what kind of person? All right, to identify everything.
Yeah, Shanun, you in management class, or I think also in TND class, I was mentioning about this, like selecting the company. While selecting the company,
Yes, ma'am.
there are few methods, like purposeful sampling or some other methods. But in our projects, you see, like we have chosen the snowballing technique. What's the snowballing technique? That is actually the referral part. See, like because we sometimes we need to go for referral. see like what Fu was saying, that yeah, even though we have got a lot of like resumes and stuff like that, but we need to cross check, right? Like if those while assessing, we need to cross check those resume factors with the real time factors. So like yeah. So Shanun, did you get your answer?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, only one question, ma'am.
Okay.
Sir,
So you
Waifu,
have.
it is important for that the candidate vision and the company vision have to be same or can be different.
Can you repeat the question?
I want to say that if I hire a employee or candidate, it have to be same that the candidate vision and company vision have to be same or can be different.
All right. So
The
basically,
goal of
this is
the
based on
candidate, yeah, like the goal of the candidate has to be the same with the company's vision or objectives, or what do you think
Yes.
on
all
that?
right. So from my experience, usually the vision and the goal of the company is bigger. I would say it's different compared to personal. Because in the vision of the company, they will, for example, they want to be the world largest or the I mean in the top of I mean in the Malaysia or in the Southeast Asia. So it's a bigger. For personal goal, I believe they want to achieve like, oh, I want to be become a manager in a few years. It's different. I would say it's different goal. But in this kind of thing, I would say it's based on the background. For example, this company is E&E, electronic and electrical. So is it you are in this background, you are studying electronic and electrical, then can fulfill what the goal in the company. Because definitely the goal in the company, they will strive towards, even they provide training, they provide communication, information, everything is in electrical and electronic. So that definitely will meet your goal that you want to study and you want to have more experience in this industry, in this area. That is the same goal. But the goal of company definitely will be different, will be bigger and broader.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shanun, you got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Great. So we have. Thank you, Fu, for the answer. We will now start with Charlene. Charlene, hi, and also we say hi to your daughter.
Hi everyone, baby 你讲 hi.
Yes.
Hi, Charlene.
Hi, long
Charlene's
time no
sister.
see
Hello.
everyone.
Hello, Cosmate. Long time no see.
So cute. So like she's
Yeah.
also going to join the session. That's very great. Okay. So I invite you, Charlene Lee. You can like share your experience or thoughts, and discuss your topic. The floor is yours.
Okay. Okay. So first I want to say good afternoon to everyone and Dr. Tarnima and all my fellow friends. It's really a long time we didn't meet up together. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm Charlene. I'm currently 29 years old and I'm a mother of a baby girl, as you see. Okay, so at first I want to thank you, Dr. Tarnima, for the invitations. Actually, it's been a long time for me don't having a public sharing. Yeah, so for today, if there's any things or any words that I'm sharing is improper, so I apologize. But if there's anything that is helpful, then I'll be grateful. Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry. It's
Okay.
a casual session, so you can just discuss what you want. Okay. No worries. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the first thing I want to share about is our mindset. Okay. Just like this glass of water, we need to always have a humble mindset. Okay. In learning of anything or in learning of any new environment. But other than humble mindset, we also need to have the some every time give yourself a little bit confidence in anything that you do. So don't afraid to like, oh, I want to enter a corporate world, a new world. It's okay. Give yourself a little bit confidence. Take the challenge. Okay. So here is my story. Sorry. My first company is called Mitsuiha High-Tech Malaysia. It's a Japanese-based multinational manufacturing company. This company is produce lead frame. So in short, what is lead frame? Inside your smartphone have lead frame. Inside your computer have lead frame, TV. All of the electronic need the lead frame. So that's what that company, factory manufacture. So I jump into Mitsuiha High-Tech I start as an intern. I start the internship program at Mitsui High-Tech and I applied for production control department, which is the main department, is very important department at that company. So the reason I chose that is the job scope it mentioned. Wow, it's very related to my course. It's about sourcing of the material, how to forecast the production line. Okay, but then the real situations, I still remember as on my mind the scenario. The first day I stepped into Mitsui High-Tech, I meet up with my boss, the manager, and then he just introduced me to production control department member. And then the next thing is he'll bring me to the shipping department instead of staying at production control department. And then what he do is I go to the shipping department. I saw a trolley that you can usually saw at the restaurants. Okay, it may be bigger than that. It's full stack of the paper, the A4 paper that they call root sheet. And what is that root sheet? Is all the informations of the productions will be written on that root sheet. So what my manager told me, my first task is to key in one part information inside their new implement computer system. So all my whole week, include my overtime, what I'm doing is just key in, just typing. Yes, and then all of that is not related to what they mentioned of the job scope. Okay, but it's okay. I'm new, so what else?
You're
What
learning.
else? Yes, so it's okay, even that I'm new. So all the past week, I just think that it's okay. I try to complete it, try to finish it. Okay, until 1 week later, finally my boss reminded me. 1 week later on, hi Charlene, how was your past 1 week? Then I say, okay. And then he say, what do you think about the road sheet? See, the first question, what do you think about the road sheet? Okay, then I just say, actually, sir, Mr. Chana, that road sheet, what I key in actually is not much helping on the system. It's all not the real-time information that we needed. You know what my boss say? Charlene, you are correct. But what you have done is you take the action and you inform all the shipping member, all this road sheet can be done. All the new system is need to be run, need to be pushed, need to be moved. So what you have done is you complete all this road sheets information, and start from today, we will go to key in the real-time informations.
Wow.
So don't ever it's just a small thing I do. And for the past few weeks, I just key in. A clerk can be do right, but actually behind that is really a great job to move. So this is just like an opportunity for me. As a new member, I have the chance to join their team to move and push for the new computer system throughout the whole factory. Yeah, so the mindsets and how you're facing with any situations, just face it, just take it. Yeah, this is the first thing that I want to share. And then about the second one is just dream big. You guys, I believe, just around 21 years old or 22 years old, maybe more younger, right? So
they're third and fourth year students, so yeah, around, no? Yes.
Around that, So dare to dream big. Yeah, the next one I want to say is why I will be continue staying at Mitsuiha Tech after my internship. It's because they provide the chance for the employee to work at the Japan main company for 1 year to gain the working experience. Okay, so this is how I dream. Okay, at one day, if I have the chance, then I will go for it. Yeah, and then after 6 months later, even though I didn't apply to work 1 year at the Japanese main company, but then throughout my working experience, the Japan main company, they send their employee come, and then they want to implement the Mitsui production system throughout the company. So I just a 6 month new employees, but I become the key presence and cooperate with all the department manager to push out this project. So actually it's very, very, very a good opportunity for me to learn. So
It's okay.
要好了，可以吗？等一下子。Okay. Okay. So actually almost there, huh? So
Yeah.
yeah, the main point I want to share is just dream big, no matter in what condition and what situations. Yeah. And then just like just now, I heard somebody ask, what is the mission and vision? Is it suit to yourself? What I can say is you can try to dream big. Where do you want to reach? Do this company provide this opportunity for you? Do you prepare yourself to grab this opportunity? That is what I want to share. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
True. Very nice insight. Yeah. So in Chinese, how do we say "you hai fiao liang"? Am I right, or I'm just what "you hai" means like how are you, right?
How
No.
are you?
What was the kaba bike like? Like what's the translation of in Chinese? Like how do we translate kaba bike?
你好。
你好吗？
Ni hao, ni hao. So ni
Okay,
hao
okay.
Xiao Liam.
You're very beautiful.
Your little baby.
Thank you. Okay, Jenny, beautiful. 你讲 thank you.
Yeah. So in Kawabaik is in Malay we say Kawabaik means like how are you. In Chinese we say ni
Ni
hao.
hao.
And in Bangla what do we say? What happened to my Bangladeshi? Kemon acho.
We use the English term basically. Hi.
Yeah. So yeah, can you actually pronounce it? Koe? Kemon acho.
Kamun acu.
Yeah. Tian?
Can you repeat?
Kemon acho.
Kamun acho.
Yeah. Okay. So we should be, because this is an intercultural session. So we should be at least knowing the the first two words to address each other, right?
Kamu acu.
Yamunacho. Yes. So what about Fu? Wenkar Fu. We should be hearing from all of you. Wenkar Fu, Charlene, Kushia. Just have you learned these Bangla two words? Oh.
One more time, can you please? Kamun
acho.
Yeah. Okay. That's great.
Kamun acho.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, baby.
Fu is hiding. What happened to Fu?
Yeah?
Fu and Kushia is hiding. Oh, okay. Fu already mentioned. Yeah, Kushia is hiding. Okay. See, so and all of you, Afif, Saba, Wajid, Jaya. In Chinese, we say ni hao, and Piaulium means beautiful. Yeah. So how are you beautiful? Okay. So in Bangla, we say shundor. In
Shundo.
Shundor. Yes. And in Bahasa we say cantik, Kushia.
Sundor.
Cantik. Yeah,
Cantik.
cantik. So we learned 3 words today in 3 different languages, right? So Tian, tell me one thing. Like in Singapore, which language is mostly used? Like, is it
English.
Bahasa Malay or English?
It's
Okay.
English, yeah.
Oh,
Because here consists of
lots of phrases and different people from different countries.
people from different country. Like for my company is Singaporean, Malaysian, Taiwanese, and Myanmar people. So these four men country they're from. So we use English.
Okay, that's great. So so now Charlene, thank you. Tian, thank you. I will like to ask, we have one more participant, Abir Ahmed. He's going to present some of his experiences that he had actually gone through during the project. So Abir, are you okay now, right now? Can you present?
Hello everyone. Good afternoon. I'm really sorry for the inconveniences. Actually, this weather is not so good today, so please forgive me if the network drops.
No problem. So you can share your thoughts.
Sure. So actually, I'm gonna talk about or present the about our last project, what we did actually in our course MGT 423. So our project was on the training. The training on communication skill between managers and employees. So for this, we interviewed a senior manager and an employee of a bank. So first, I want to talk about actually what is communication skill. So communication skill is one of the most important skill that one can possess. Communication can be defined as the mutual transfer of information in order to create better workplace understanding. However, communication in workplace is not only about how better we work with our co-workers or how fast we can make the we can make the work done. Rather, it's more about making relationship, creating bonding, reducing errors, and most importantly, working productively and efficiently. A true leader must create an environment that encourages employees to practice or to master good communication skills to have better working experiences. We shall all know that good communication skill definitely helps us in both our professional and personal life, as it empowers us others as well to read information quickly and accurately. So communication can be verbal, visual, written, media, books, non-verbal, etc. So now moving on, our company actually mainly for our research or for our project, we actually selected a bank which is called National Bank Limited. It is said to be the first private sector bank that is fully owned by Bangladeshi entrepreneurs. So why actually we selected the bank actually? I'm sorry, I've been suffering from fever for last 2 weeks. I don't know what has happened to me, so please forgive me for this inconvenience. So the reason for the selection is, one of the reasons for selecting National Bank Limited is due to its historical importance. National Bank Limited's entry into the private sector was a defining moment in Bangladeshi banking history. When the country was suffering a terrible recession, the government made the foresight choice to hand over control of the economy to the private sector. National Bank Limited was established as the first private sector bank owned entirely by Bangladeshis. Also, National Bank Limited has been committed to playing a vital role in the national economy since its beginnings. So we thought that it would be a great opportunity to catch a little glimpse of how they arrange the employees training. After that, moving on, and then we did some literature review, and also we interviewed a senior manager and an employee from the bank. So after that, come to our come to the our training objective design. Actually, what was our training objective? What was the training of the objective of National Bank Limited? So after the training on workplace communication, the gap in communication between management and employees, it has been reduced, and the 45 to 55 trainees or employees will be more confident and able to carry out effective workplace, communicate properly with office managers, superiors, colleagues, subordinates, vendors, maintain an effective working relationship with the customers by learning the treated and provided necessary methods and practices. They actually follow the SMART method during designing the training objective. So during the interview, actually we faced some issues. The issues are like the topic or subject of the training, or the time allotment of training, training duration, or accommodation issues, etc. So we actually they actually create AD model for training purpose. So if we look at the AD model, so first to analyze the employee's lack of communication skills is noticed through the process of TNA, and then for designing through the effective use of a process known as training master plan and a training schedule. The HR department of National Bank Limited designs the training schedule. This also makes sure that training objective is smart. And then come to development. They develop all the materials such as the video, softs and hard copies, lectures, prepares visual learning content, proper allocate of the time, prepares accommodation, and then come to implementation. They conduct the training program in real as per the schedule. Additionally, implement the necessary methods and practices which would help trainees to develop the communication skills. Now come to evaluation. They evaluate whether the trainers have followed the training design module properly and compares the benefits in the company for the training to the expectation. Also periodically carries the need assessment. So now after that they actually don't Gantt chart or they don't follow the Gantt theory. They actually follow a very simple training schedule. And now after thoroughly checking and discussing the scholars and employees point of view, we understand that effective communication skill is a must for the workplace environment. And employee of National Bank Limited said that the KSA level increases after attending the training and help them making effective communication with their management, subordinates and vendors, etc. Moreover, he said that it empowered them with strategies, tactics to become better at communication. Furthermore, he stated that communication skill came handy while working from home in the pandemic. In this pandemic, it helped him foster mutual understanding and maintain relationship while reducing errors when they were working distantly. As discussed earlier, they were given training through visual learning like video presentation, handouts. However, he believes that there is always a room for the future improvement and further training is necessary to some extent. On the other hand, the scholar's point of view also reflects the same too. They to believe that effective communication skill will boost a team's performance. They also suggest that an employee must maintain connection with his or her colleagues, subordinates. Moreover, body languages like facial expressions, eye contacts, etc. are very important for maintaining effective communication in workplace. However, cross-cultural barrier is very common in workplace scenario. So, moving on, the recommendation based on the discussion above, we see that they followed a different training process. Thus, we suggest them to follow Gantt theory to schedule their training process as it focuses on learning outcome, verbal information, intellectual skills, cognitive strategies, attitudes, and motor skills. On the second note, they might use a Gantt chart for their training program, since it helps them to determine the project timeline. For example, how long it will take, what resources and material are needed, and lastly, the planning order in which they need to finish the task. Lastly, they might want to try and give more input about their employee training in the annual reports, as this will help the organization build a good reputation and uphold the triple bottom line that focuses on the people, profit, and planet. So the answers of the prepared questionnaires clearly suggest that from senior executive officer to the vice president of the organization, everyone from bottom to top is aware of how significant communication between management and employees. It is evident that their answers that they acknowledge that the benefits and also the necessity of the trainings which aim to develop communication skills. Training focusing on communication skills are not only important for better performance from the employees and to increase the productivity, but also for making them more effective while making strategies and tactics to approach their job. To be successful as an organization in the competitive world, the development of human resources is a must, and developing communication skills is necessary for not only developing human resources but also for better working environments. And thank you all, and forgive me for my mistakes.
Okay, thank you, Abir, for the insights and sharing your experiences with the National Bank. You mentioned, I just have one point to ask. Like, you mentioned about the cognitive approach that they actually follow during their, training session. So, what kind of cognitive approach actually? Like, do they take any sort of psychological IQ test or any such things during the training session, or they that they provide a background where actually employees can explore, explore the, what should I say, the soft skills of any sort? What have they actually shared on these particular aspects?
Well, he did say that they have these sessions where they solve cases and they talk about certain situations that has happened before, and
Ma'am,
they work
they.
together.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, actually, they actually practice role play session, or like case study based, like this kind of experience actually gives them some more knowledge, or real life scenario, how
Experiences.
to communicate with the managers or subordinates, like that's the
Understood.
thing, actually, that's the thing.
Okay. Yeah, Joya, you wanted to add something? Thank you, Abir. Yeah,
Ma'am,
Joya, you want to add
what
something?
he told me was specifically that they have these sit downs where they present these, for example, a situation happened in the past. So they'll be like, what would you have done if this were had happened? And then they would have these open discussions with their employees. They have these once a month, or some sort of, I can give an assumption, I guess. And they have these discussion sessions and they work through these problems. And suppose, because everyone's performance is recorded by the one who's sitting right above them, they have these
Yeah.
sessions that who's what happened, that they, what problem happened that they needed to have faced, and how they needed to sorted this out. And if there was, because everyone's learning, even if they're working, you're learning even when you're working. So they have these they take these, I guess what I can call it by theory is that, I guess, case study. They sort of solve these issues and they sit together and discuss, and it's
Like, actually, these things come up during the performance appraisal
their
system. Maybe
performance
Wing
meeting.
Karpu, you can, give some insight on this, right? During the evaluation process, they actually come up with these sort of solutions, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Cool.
doctor.
They have one frequently.
Mm-hmm.
They take
Yeah.
these.
Normally based on like what we mentioned about cognitive approach is based on learning. Like sometimes it's like sharing with each other, we learn from each other. So the commonly we use in the industry is the we call brainstorming. Yeah, we brainstorm, and then even sometimes we meet some problems. I would say, like currently we have developed the Ishikawa diagram. I believe you all got heard about it. Cause and effect diagram. We developed together with our ground floor people, because they
Okay.
are someone that doing. They know what is the problem, and then we can get some idea. And then from what is our management perspective, how can we solve the problem? We come up with the diagram together with the ground floor people, and then we learn from each other. Yeah. So and
Okay.
then this one will put into like just now doctor got mentioned about the appraisal form. So through this, this is their performance. They're able to contribute, give their feedback on the, in the workplace. Then we can recognize this is their effort.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. Effort, and also like obviously efforts is, I think, comes as a way, but also there is KPI, the targets, right?
Yes.
The targets, like how much percentage actually, like per KPI you are actually trying to get into, like, or trying to fulfill that sort
Yes.
of
In terms of
yeah.
KPI, we also got distribute into different level. Individual KPI,
Yeah.
department KPI, division KPI,
Okay.
and then we will go to the company KPI. So
Company.
different KPI to achieve.
Yes, yes.
What's
Okay.
also very intriguing is because we read stuff as students, we read stuff in books that what to do in these situations. But when you're working, what I learned from this is that there is no definition to what kind of a problem that you can have. They're random, they can happen, and they're very you can't control it. It's chaotic. So hence, when they sit down and they realize that, oh, this is something new, we should have considered this variable, which is why I guess there's a saying that you can be a topper, you can learn a lot of things from book, but unless you go and experience the real situation, you haven't really learned enough.
Yeah.
Yes, I do agree with you on this part. But sometimes, like I would say, for example, a new problem it exists. We never solved it before, but we can use the method that we used before. We minimize the impact. We don't want to make this. We can reduce. We try to reduce.
Yeah.
For example, another QC tool is very useful is the Pareto Chart. We can identify the most thing that happened. We solve it first. We minimize the impact, rather than we're not doing nothing. Sure, have some solution. Just is it the solution can solve or partially solve?
True.
I would say like in today's world, maybe today cannot solve the problem, but in future we have new technology. Definitely will solve the problem in future, but not today.
True. Yes, yes. Fu was mentioning about the Pareto chart. Like in your company, like does any kind of like such charts or like such tools are used for the training or career development process, or for the management process? What do you think? Like is there anything like that is used in the company, or?
We actually use almost the similar ways to solve any issues that pop up. Then we can't do everything perfectly because there's a lot of unexpected issue will be popping up. Then we only can learn from mistake and use it as our as our like added values, and we should record it for the every every mistake or every new knowledge we learn throughout the projects.
I think it's a record for the future improvement, because
Yeah, record
I
for
believe
it.
that in today's, like what just now mentioned, the problem maybe we can't solve, and then someone maybe we can through a sharing or doing R&D, research and development, to identify which is the best solution.
Yeah. I'm not sure that other companies for my department side, we actually have three type of meeting weekly. First is on Monday, like we're going to tell everyone that what we're going to do for this week. Then on Wednesday, what is the progress of the task that we plan to do for this week, and what is the issue we have faced and any help we needed. Then on the Friday, right, we'll do some sharings from the tasks and the experience we learned throughout the weeks. So we'll actually implement this kind of like meetings to ensure everyone's have clear communications.
Yes, true. It's actually interesting insight. Like, Wajid, do you want to share anything or ask anything? You have been quiet for some time. You can ask Wajid,
Am I audible?
Wahiba. Yes, yes, you are audible, please.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Very, very nice to hear from all of you. I don't know what you guys are saying that your presentation was underwhelming or anything. I actually really enjoyed everyone's presentation quite a bit. And it's a lot to learn from all of you. And I'm very thankful to Dr. Tarnima Miss for arranging this. And there are a few things I did want to share. First, I have a few questions, and after that, if Miss allows me, I'll share some of my own experiences.
Yes,
Uh,
please. Please.
so the questions I first wanted to ask, number one, to Tian, um, you talked about how Singapore is very diverse right now, right? So I wanted to actually get up. If anybody wants to weigh in on this as well, about diversity training, right? And I think it's very important in the world today, and especially with the population being what it is and the demographic. What do you think about? What can you say about diversity training and how to effectively do it, and what how it's done in your area? If you could just tell me about that.
Okay, Tian, the question is, yeah.
What just now the question about the diversity, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Diversity training and development, like you're working in Singapore with the multicultural, like in a multicultural environment and
Yeah.
different sorts of employees and students and everyone is
Yeah.
working over there.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
how actually, like the diversity training is, like what should I say? Yeah, uh,
First thing first,
conducted.
first
Mhm.
thing first, the language is English lah. So everyone must understand English lah.
Okay.
And then I think second, even though it's diversity lah, but the training is still, it's still, I mean, it's still present in English, so everyone have to understand English. And then I think it's no difference lah from for the training. I mean, no different for the different people from different country. Just something for the theory parts. The trainer will ask, is it everyone understand what he or she is talking about? And then for the practical part, trainer will look at how was our hands-on. Is it everyone understand what they are doing, how they can solve the problem? So I think diversity is not an issue lah. Just that everyone have to understand what they're doing lah. Yeah, I think this is what I think lah.
So what about the like technical or technical or management oriented training? Like as per the language is concerned, you are actually giving the presentations or you are giving the teachings in handouts or whatever it is in English language. But what about the like the processes, like how they are actually mingling with each other, the employees, how they're actually interacting with each other, like how do you give that training, or how have you experienced, like when you went to work with others, like from coming from different backgrounds?
Oh, so mostly for the Myanmar, if for the Myanmar person, if they graduate from Myanmar, mostly the English is not that good. So when you communicate with them, you have to be patient and you have to talk slow lah, and try to make it clear for them, very clear cut for them. And for the Taiwanese, yes, some of them English also not that fluent. And since most of us understand Mandarin, so it's not an issue lah. And then for Singaporean and Malaysian, it's the same. Yeah, they can understand all language. So it's no language barrier.
Yeah, because Singapore and I think Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, they are having Bahasa Melayu
Melayu, yeah,
language. Yeah,
yeah.
and in some parts of like in Malaysia, a lot of people also know Mandarin, and
Yeah.
also like you Mandarin, and also in Singapore also I think Mandarin is practiced, right?
Mandarin is the
Third language.
most of here is Chinese, but what most of them is using English.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
What about the South Asians? Like, have you, found the South Asians from like, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, all these
Uh,
regions?
oh,
Like,
have some lah. Some, I mean, at my workplace, others vendor may have some Indians, Bangladesh worker. Those, so the language also is English lah. I mean,
okay.
between them, maybe they have their own mother tongue, but
Community is there.
yeah,
Okay,
but
open
in
community.
formal meeting is conducted in English lah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, thank you, Tian. Wajid, did you get some information? Like, see, like even though it's a diversified environment, and like there is diversity is existing, but the problem with the issue is that a common platform or a common ground is created. See, right? That's a
Yes.
interesting point. And what
Thank
about
you so
Charlene?
much.
Because Charlene, you are working in, you have been working in a Japanese company. What about you? Like, how do you actually see this factor, like this diversity?
Yeah, actually, I want to share it from different company background because previously we have been sending to Singapore and meet up with different country member to having a meeting and then help Mitsuiha Singapore to solve some issue. So what we're gonna do is we make sure all of the issue is visualized, which is more easy. For example, like they were using Kanban system, they were using graph, Pareto chart. Okay, what first thing they will do is they will go through observe what because it's production line production process, so what they were gonna do is they observe the production line, what is the issue, how do they going to improve that process. So a photo can like present a lot of words. So what they are going to do is every time when they're doing some project, photo is the main thing they will show you, and then they will show you this process to this process, what is the issue. By a chart or a graph, anything is visualized. So when you go through, we look at the photo, then it will be more easier for us to understand. Yeah. So this is
That's interesting. Like, see, like even though different people are coming from having different backgrounds and coming from different countries, like they can actually see the picturization or symbolic representations. So through which actually a lot of things can be understood. Yeah, that's interesting. So Wajid, you have you wanted to share any other thing like your experiences with the project?
Yes, Miss. I'll just before that, I had one more question for everyone here. Um, so this is just to ask you if you have any advice or if you can tell us what are some skills we should start acquiring in order to be more dynamic in today's world. Like you guys are in the work, you guys have been in the, we're just about to get in there. So just asking if you can give us some advice about some core competencies that we should be starting to hone or some skills, if you have any advice.
That's great. Yeah, great question. Great. The floor is open for everyone. Wahiba, you want to add something?
Ma'am, I had some question. I think after Warda's question.
Okay. Answer has been given. Yeah, the floor is open for everyone. Maybe Kwe can give some advice. Yeah.
Okay,
We
so
can start with you.
let me start first. So it's like it's actually depends on what the fields that you want to go through. But basically, you need to learn. You need to very skillful on the Microsoft apps because it's the basics computer skills that you need to skill it up. Like during when you join the companies, that no one will teach you the basic stuff. They'll directly goes to some specifics. How to say when you start to join it, they will treat you as employee. It's not like trainee anymore. They will ask you to start to do the job without like asking whether you can do it or not. So it's like as I told you all earlier in the presentation, right? Trainings is and also development is like unstoppable. then from the from time to time we need to observe back what is the skill that you lack of, and you also can always like go through the LinkedIn and also the job streets to see the same job scope in other company lah. What is the skill they need? Then what are the skill that you lack of? Then you try to improve yourselves from like from times to times. Depends on the fields that you join later lah. This is one of my advice.
I have point to add. I think one of the important skill is one of the most important skill is the soft skill. No matter what and where you join, which company you join. Like your teamwork, your how you treat other person, how you respect, you must respect them, your work ethic, your flexibility, your interpersonal skill. That one is the most important, I think. Yeah. Because that one is the fundamental for you before you moving
Show
on
your
into
real
job.
skills, like
I mean
other skills, technical
the
skills.
soft skill this is the
Mhm.
essential what you need. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. This is the important thing, I think.
Mhm.
I agree. That's very important.
Yeah.
Charlene and Fu, any advice as a senior?
Sure. So my advice is never give up. All right, because we will face a lot of challenges in the workplace, even in our lives. So the first thing is never give up. The second thing is about attitude. All right, you need to have a good attitude in either in a working or in your life. All right, so attitude means that the learn as much as possible you can. All right, if you're not sure, if you don't know, you can ask. In industry, we don't mind people ask us question instead of you make mistake. All right, okay. So first thing you can try to benchmark. For example, you see someone have a very good skill, how the person lead the team, how he how to say, he performed the presentation is a good example. So you benchmark him, how he doing, then we learn from him. Or some idols, like we see how to say, example, maybe some leaders in your country, they are good in speaking. You can learn from them how they speak, how they perform their presentation. So we
Yeah.
benchmark.
So trying to take the positivity,
Yes.
from everywhere, like positive attitude, having a positive attitude, and trying to accept everyone's perspectives.
Yes.
Trying to respect everyone's perspectives. Yeah, very good. Thank you. So what about Charlene? Charlene and Kushia also, as seniors, what do you actually advise to our, novice learners, you can say?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you first.
Yes, Kushia. Kushia wants to say. Okay. Charlene wants to say first. Like you can just shuffle. Yeah.
Because actually when I first working in a real industry, sometimes we when we get a task we don't know how to do it, like we'll be like, how am I going to do this? But what I learned through my experience is you just have to just start doing it, like just try to figure it out, but then your creativity will start to connect, and you will have an idea on how to do it. You figure it out later. So if you see that you can't do it, you don't know how to do it, just by starting it, you will have an idea after that. So don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Like creativity is see the key point. See, I think I mentioned about it in the class. Thank you, Kushia. We each of us has got some speciality. Each of us. So try to understand that and try to explore that. I think that can actually take you somewhere on the peak or somewhere else, like can bring lead in your life. So yeah, so Charlene. Yeah.
So actually, it's just still the same point as I shared just now. The first one is like always be humble, have a humble mind to accept and learn anything. And then be a little bit confident more. Every time when you think that that thing is a little bit difficult, so pull up your little bit confident to yourself. And then dream big. Yeah, that's what I say.
That's great. Good. Thank you. Thank you. And I will just ask Muntaha and Wahiba, you want to say anything as
Yes,
junior? Yeah, Wahiba, please.
yes, ma'am.
We will be ending our session soon. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Really great. Are very grateful to you for arranging this session, ma'am. I have a question that in workplace we can often see biasness, like someone who is not that much competent compared to us. They are getting jobs or positions through references in organizations, but we are not getting actually the thing that we deserve. So that time we feel really that we are not enough or we don't have the potential, and we feel some they're less than them. So ma'am, that also put us in a less confident situation, that we are sometimes lose our confidence. So how can we deal with this situation, like when there are biasness in your bosses or in your colleagues, and they are preferring someone over you? So how can we deal with that situations? I would like to know about that.
Okay, so maybe any of you can answer this question. Any senior? Like, yeah.
Doctor, can you repeat again the question,
Okay.
because it's like the
Okay,
voice
okay.
quite slow.
Wahiba has been asking, like, see, in workplace, sometimes you see that there can be biasness exist. Okay, like, like maybe someone is not that much, like maybe, yeah, everyone is competitive, but maybe some of them who are, like a little bit more confident or more, what should I say, more competent and more qualified, but others are getting opportunity because of the referrals or because of the other, like issue. So how do you actually handle this, or how do you actually, like deal with this situation, the workplace biasness or these sort of things actually?
Actually, it's quite normal since reality was like especially to women, females, because that people will be thought that women cannot cope with those like hard works. So it's like I actually face the same issues. Then I also frustrated before, but I have a one-to-one sections with my managers. Then I I just like discuss with him that what the skills I left off. Then what is my feelings when I feel like I'm not rewarded with the what I should earn. This is what I done before lah. Then I'm actually quite lucky to have a open-minded managers, so that I when I feedback to him, he actually is like do something for me, like do some salary adjustments to me. Then I actually have then I always like I usually have a like my quarterly one-to-one section with him that say asking what the skills that I'm lack of, then anything I should improve, especially in these facility departments, right? It's actually a lot of like works that sometimes women cannot, it's hard to cope one, but I'm doing my best to improve my own skills, and also how to say how I coordinate the jobs with those like foreigners workers. This is what I've done. When you feel like you are biased by those like management, you need to talk to them. Maybe they are aware that they do the same. they do this to you.
Like there are some like especially I think in the manufacturing industry or manufacturing companies, the gender discrimination
General
tends
discrimination, yes.
to occur. Yeah.
It's very obvious. Then if you think that you really deserve that rewards, then you talk to your management.
Okay. That's an important insight. So what got your answer, right?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay. So what about like Charlene, you wanted to add anything? Okay, so Muntaha, do you have any question to ask?
No, ma'am. No more question from my side. Actually, I'm a little bit sick today. So thank you so
Okay.
much, ma'am, for arranging such a wonderful session. I have learned a lot from them. Thank you so much.
Okay, so Tian, are you there? Tian?
Yes.
Tian and Abir, I think let's try. I'm not sure how to actually take this photo. We can take a photo, all of us together, and later on, like even though I have recorded the entire session, I will be sharing with you all. Okay, but like still, if we let's try to take some photos, and maybe we can share it later with each other.
Yeah,
So
doctor, I can view in all people's screen. I mean, in the grid form.
okay, can you help with this one, Fu?
Yes. So
Okay.
everyone's turn on their camera.
Yeah, please, Abir, Wahiba, please switch on your camera, everyone. Muntaha and Afif.
Actually
Let me.
outside, ma'am.
No problem, no problem. Even if you're outside or inside, no problem. Kushiar, let me call everyone's name. Abir, Afif, Kwe, Charlene, Muntaha, Joya, Saba, Tian,
Total 12 person,
Wahiba.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Wajid, Wenkafu, and who is missing?
Muntaha
Okay,
have a network issue. Okay,
network
maybe we can
issue.
start.
And Abir, I think I cannot see Abir. And Saba, okay.
Yes. Doctor, I can see.
Oh, you can see everyone. Okay, that's
Yeah.
okay. So maybe you can try to take Kushiar. You can see Kushiar. Azhar.
Usha not join.
Oh, Kushiar. Oh, she was just here. She also mentioned to me that about the network issue. Let me tell her. Kushiar, I'm just informing her in WhatsApp. Can you please come for 1 second? We want to take a photo. Okay. Has she arrived?
Yeah, actually, doctor, you can go to the 3 points there, the more option.
Mm-hmm.
You go to change layout, then you can see everyone already.
Change layout.
Under
Settings.
style,
Settings.
under the second
Change
option.
out. Okay.
Can you see everyone?
Yes. Tiled.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. That's great. Okay, so yeah. Oh, Kushiar has been here. Let's wait for a while. Okay, so let's wait. Fu, you already have taken. You can take some.
Not yet. Okay, ready?
Not we just waiting for
We just take
Kushiar.
first.
Yeah,
Please
we just take
smile.
first.
1, 2. Wait a moment, yeah.
Kwe, you
Some
are
the
with your
face.
mask on. You cannot see your smile. Yeah.
The line is not so stable. Can't see some of the face.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Wait a
we
moment,
are waiting for Kushiar. Okay. Yes, Kushiar is in. Yes. So we can all now take. So smile, everyone. We have
Wait a
done
moment,
it.
because I can't see all the face. Maybe the line is not so good. Bun Hui, can you see all the face?
Except for
Yes, can
Muntaha,
you check the
everyone.
WhatsApp? I already sent a few photos inside the WhatsApp lah.
Okay.
Oh, Bun Hui already
Okay,
taken,
so
Yeah. Is it?
I
is it
have
the
actually taken some
picture,
pictures.
okay?
We'll share those with ma'am later, maybe.
okay, sure. Okay, so I think we have taken few pictures, right? Already?
Yeah. I took a few, then I sent to WhatsApp. You all can have a check whether
Yes.
which one is better. Okay.
At the moment,
Kushia is smiling and driving. So, how to say goodbye in Chinese language?
再见。
再见。
Zaijian. And in bahasa?
Jumpa lagi.
Apa baik? Jumpa lagi, ya. Jumpa lagi. So, jumpa lagi.
Jumpa lagi.
Jumpa lagi.
And in Bangla, we should say
Asi?
Ashi অথবা Khuda Hafiz, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you all so much. It was wonderful. Thank you, Miss.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am,
I
for
will
this
be sharing the
opportunity,
session. Thank you. I will be sharing the session with you all. Thank you everyone for participating. Inshallah, in near future, we are going to be doing more sessions and we are going to be connected more. And I am thinking of actually creating a platform where we all can come together. Soon we are going to be creating a platform where we all can connect to each other and share and give each other advice and ideas, so that we all can flourish together, right? So thank you, Charlene. What's the name of your baby?
My baby name Hui En.
Yen. Okay, so thank you, Piao Liang.
Bye bye.
Okay. So thank you everyone. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye everyone.
Bye,
Take
ma'am.
care.
Take care, ma'am.
Bye.
Take care.
Assalamualaikum, ma'am, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Till we speak again.
Okay. Sure. Thank you.